Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the F30, F32 generation of the 3 Series. In my opinion, the 4 Series is just the 3 Series coupe, so I'm just going to be calling it the 3 Series or the F30 because it's the same exact car. You do get a little bit more goodies in the two-door coupe with the seatbelt extended that never works. Better back seats in my opinion, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to call it the F30 or the 3 Series. And we're going to be talking about why that is the best car for the money right now as of April 2022. I bought my F32 as of December 2021 for about $24,000. I got a 435i 2014 with the N55, obviously. I got an X Drive, we'll be talking about that later, and I got about 80,000 miles with the automatic. In my opinion, these cars are great street cars. I would not suggest making these into track cars. You will break it. It is not worth it. You will need a lot of modifications to actually get it ready for the track. Now, when it comes to a daily driver, which is why most of you guys are picking this up, these are great cars. If you get the M Performance, you have the adaptive suspension. You can put in comfort mode or street mode, and it's perfectly livable. Just keep in mind that these cars do take 91 octane up. I suggest putting 93 in it if your area has it. But like I said, these 91 octane, especially with the gas prices right now, it would be hard to justify these. But like I said, perfectly good street car. Right now mine's making about 375 horsepower. These cars come stock with 302 horsepower and about 295 pound-feet of torque, which is perfectly good in this day and age. I don't think it's anything to scoff at, but it definitely, with just a tune, nothing else, you can definitely unlock that 375 horsepower, because the M2 used to use the N55 before they upgraded to the S55. It's the same engine. Obviously, it had a little bit different parts, but it shared a large percentage of those parts with the actual original N55, which is in these cars. So these cars are perfectly capable. I do not suggest tracking them. In my humble opinion, I think that's meant for the S55, and I think it was a good idea for BMW to switch over to the S55 instead of the N55 with the M2. Now, when it comes to reliability, these engines, they are way more reliable than the N54. They do not make as much power because the N54 does have forged internals. You see those N54s making crazy horsepower. These cars maybe can make 600 horsepower with pure stage 2 or pure stage 2 turbos. I do not suggest it. You're gonna get a lot of problems, and when you're making over that 500, if you want to make 550 horsepower or more, go with the M4. Save up that extra money. I think that these cars sit very happily around that 400, 450 horsepower. And the torque to go along with it. The torque stays right around the horsepower number with this engine, which is very nice. These cars are very torquey. If you get the M Performance package, there's a gauge in the infotainment that will actually show you your torque and horsepower, and you'll see the majority of the time you're using all of your torque and barely any of your horsepower unless you really hammer on it. I have the all-wheel drive system, the X Drive, and I have that for multiple reasons. One, I live in Wyoming where there's snow, so I need that all-wheel drive, and my other car is a rear-wheel drive E46, so I do not feel comfortable driving that in the winter. I know a lot of people can. All the luck to you, all of it to you, because I'm just not chancing it with my cars. But if you do plan on getting a rear-wheel drive car, like I said, if you're starting to make that big horsepower gain, please be careful. These will send you into a wall. When it comes to the downsides of this N55 engine, you're really going to be looking at the crank hub, and you're going to be looking at the charge pipe. The charge pipe is made out of plastic. I'm sure you've heard it if you're doing research about this car, that the charge pipe is a Achilles heel to the N55. I blew mine up on stock internal, stock everything, stock boost. I haven't even changed the wheels or tires on this car yet, and I blew it up. So that is the first thing that I suggest doing after you do the maintenance. Please do your maintenance on these cars, on all BMWs. On my E46, I did regular maintenance. Obviously it is a manual, so that helps too when it comes to maintenance, but it is at 270,000 miles. So that just shows you that these cars can last BMWs. So when you hear that they're unreliable, that's just because people can't take care of their goddamn cars. So just keep that in mind. As soon as you get these cars, do all the maintenance you can, and then keep a record of it, so then you know when you got to do your maintenance again. And then as soon as you get done with that maintenance, do the charge pipe, because that will blow up. It's just a ticking time bomb. And then as well as the crank hub, or the seal crank for the crank hub. I suggest doing that. It's just a piece of aluminum that goes over it, so then your belt doesn't get sucked in. Keys Motorsports has a great video going in depth about that. So please do that if you're making those high horsepower numbers, or even if you just want to make the car bulletproof, which I suggest doing. Other than that, this car is perfectly good. It's reliable. It's got a twin scroll, 1 turbo setup instead of the 2 turbo setup that the N54 has. And there's not a lot of turbo lag here. You hammer it, you maybe have half a second before that turbo kicks in, and it makes a beautiful sound. These cars just love to be hammered on. So as long as you take care of them, it will take care of you. Now when it comes to speccing out these cars, I suggest getting the M Performance package. I have it on mine. It makes it look like an M car. Not quite, but it makes it resemble an M car. You also get M badges all over the car, also with a better performance numbers. It does beef up the transmission, or it does give you a few more modes when it comes to actually performance. So I suggest doing the performance. Otherwise, get the upgraded screen and the upgraded iDrive, because you don't want the inky dinky dial. Other than that, I don't think that the heads-up display is critical. I do suggest that these cars have very, very cold weather gear, heated steering wheel, heated seats. So if you're in a colder climate, get that cold weather package. Other than that, like I said, you take care of these cars, they'll take care of you. And especially underneath that $30,000 mark, you can make up to $450 pretty reliably, in my opinion. So they're just worth it in every penny and every way. Now, are they a tri-car? No, they are not. That is for the S55 and the M cars, which I do plan on getting one next year for the purpose of weekend driving. My my E46 is going to turn into just a track car Focus. The M4 is going to be a track car on the weekends, and my F30 is going to be a daily. If you have any more questions when it comes to anything BMW, I am just starting out. I do look at a lot of other YouTubers for information, but I'll give you my honest opinion on everything. Also, I just want to put in there, when it comes to modifying this car, get BRSF. I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was. I have no loyalty to that. I don't know anybody that works there, but BRSF has the cheapest, most reliable parts that even fit better than OEM in most cases. I did it for my downpipe and my charge pipe. Great fit and finish. It looks better, it fits better, and it'll last a hell of a lot longer. So when you're looking at parts, go with BRSF. Another place to look for parts is Keys Motorsports. They have everything when it comes to BMW, all generations. It comes down to BMW, your M cars, your regular cars. Even your 4-cylinders, they have parts for the 4-cylinders, and they're pretty reliably, or they're pretty lowly, they're pretty reasonably priced as well. So that is all for today's video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will catch you guys later.